Good morning. Welcome to Unlock Your First Six Figures morning show. Okay, thank you. Got it. Morning show. It all starts with the blog. The blog for this week is at shaycannon.com/win. That's WIN. I am your host, Shay Cannon. I'm an award-winning fractional chief operating officer with an exclusive clientele of 6- and 7-figure CEOs. However, I have a mission, and that mission includes you, small business owners and entrepreneurs who are spinning their wheels and struggling to get to their first 6 figures in business. I want to show you how to make the money and create time freedom. That's make the money and create time freedom. My freedom looks like living and working my business from anywhere in the world. I'll spare you the 5-year journey of the places I've been and just let you know that I am currently living my best life and working my best business in Mexico. All right, in Mexico. So, this week, what we've been talking about is how small businesses can win back past clients, okay? Win back past clients. Again, the blog post for this week is at shaycannon.com/win, WIN, and we're winning back past clients because what we know is on our road to our first 6 figures, not only do we need to attract clients, but we need to keep the clients that we have. And if we somehow lose them, we need to find ways to get them back. Okay. In fact, if you go to the blog post for this week, in the introductory paragraph, I show you how Forbes magazine agreed with me. They have an article called Acquiring New Customers is Important, but Retaining Them Accelerates Profitable Growth. Okay, because we don't want a revolving door of clients. Okay, we want clients to come in and we want to keep them. Clients to come in and we want to keep them. We don't want them to come in and go out, come in and go out, right? So we want to recapture the ones that have made it out, see if we cannot get them back. So we have been talking about 4 categories of strategies this week. The first category was incentive-driven engagement, okay? Incentive-driven engagement. All that means is give them an incentive to come back. Engage them to come back, but give them an incentive to come back, okay? You want to hear more about those strategies? Go to part 1, which was on Monday's replay, all right? Our second category was personalized communication, because there's nothing like someone talking to you and you know they're talking exactly to you, okay? So personalized communication, so that was part 2, and you can go to Tuesday's replay and get all of the strategies we shared for that. On yesterday, we talked about part 3. Part 3 was content and educational resources to win back past clients, okay? Using content and educational resources. So that was part 3. You can get part 3 in yesterday's replay. So today we're talking about part 4. Part 4 is feedback and community building to win back past clients, okay? Feedback and community building. What's missing from a lot of potential clients and past clients, both of them, okay? So attracting new clients and keeping clients and getting back old clients, okay? What's missing is a feeling of ownership and connectedness, okay? Ownership and connectedness. So let's talk about some of the strategies you can use to get them to feel some ownership and get them to feel connected, okay? So the first strategy is re-engagement surveys, okay? Send your past clients a survey. What we're going to do is collect feedback on their experience and reasons why they disengaged, right? Because guess what happens? If they give you feedback and you implement that feedback to solve the problem as to why they left, they not only come back, but they feel a little ownership over the offer because their feedback helped to change the offer, okay? So I want you to think of like a blended family, right? Blended families. You were either raised in one, you know of one, you're raising one now, okay? And what happens in blended family is if you don't allow that step parent to feel some type of ownership over the kids that are not theirs, they're not as connected, right? They're not as connected. Because what we know is the people that we care about, we do feel some level of ownership and protectedness and investment in them. If you don't allow them to feel that, they're not going to connect to your kids. So that's just another way to think about it, right? So allow your clients, your past clients, your potential clients to be invested, right? And feel some ownership over the process that will help to change them, okay? The next thing is feedback loops. Don't just wait until they become a past client to get what's going on with them. What we want to do is establish a continuous channel for feedback while they are the client. Okay. We want to establish feedback loops for before they even become a client. That's what market research is, right? It's just a feedback loop for people who are not necessarily your client yet. All you're doing is asking them what they would like if they became a client. What would be their obstacles to your solution, all that kind of stuff. So potential clients, current clients, you can establish feedback loops to get continuous feedback. The next strategy is community building activities. We have one of those tonight, right? So we have our movie club night tonight. It's not too late for you to watch the movie. Go to the featured post, and you can see the movie and click and see the trailer, all the good things. But we get started tonight at 7 p.m. We're going to actually commune, right? So what you want to do is create forums or groups or opportunities for customers to connect and share. But let me tell you something about community. Community is not just you talking to people, okay? It's not even just people talking back to you. Community and communing is everybody talking. So you have to create opportunities for you to talk to them to talk back to you, and for them to talk to each other. That's a community, okay? Cool beans. Next one and final strategy is social media engagement, interacting with past clients on social media platforms. So let me tell you something about that. It's nothing like having given somebody your money and they help to celebrate you. They're interacting with you, all those things. But even if they do it past the time of you paying them, it just feels a little more special, right? So not only should you be interacting on social media with your current clients, you should be interacting with your past clients, especially the ones that you would like to win back. Okay, because what that's doing is it is furthering the relationship. The relationship didn't end when they stopped paying you money. That's a sign of that. All right, so let's go back through those strategies: re-engagement surveys, feedback loops, community building opportunities, social media engagement. I'm going to start with Tracy. Which one are you going to start to implement as soon as possible to get to winning these people back?
I love all of them, but I believe I'm going to start implementing the community building activities. I
Mm-hmm.
really like that, and that gives a way to really engage when you're talking about journaling and just talking about life and feeling better. So just thinking about the different activities I can do to bring people together, um, to to really engage around gratefulness
Mm-hmm.
and pouring back to the journal, but building a better life. So
Love
changing
it.
the mindset.
I love it. I love that. And Tracy, you have other businesses. We always talk about the journaling, but you have other businesses too. You got real estate, you got other wealth building things that you do. I mean, all of
Hmm.
this stuff goes for that too, so don't forget that.
Okay.
Cheryl, welcome back, Cheryl. We're glad that you joined us. We know that you've been off doing your superhero writing, all the things. So welcome back.
Thank
But out of
you.
the out of the win back campaigns that we talked about, which one will you be including in your efforts?
I think I'm with Tracy. I'm going with the community because right now, 100% of my clients are repeat clients, and
Yes.
we're going on the fifth and sixth round.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for me is building a community because number one, you talked about capacity. I don't have the capacity to keep working with 3,000 people.
Listen.
So building that community in the group, and start doing some group programs as well. I think that that may be a real good opportunity.
Love it. I love it. I love it. Dr. Tachi, which of these strategies are you going to use for feedback and community building to win back your past clients?
Can I have a little more clarity on the social media engagement one,
Yeah,
please?
sure. You do that already, actually. You do that in different forms. You do that as Dr. Tachi and you do that as Indy Soup. So what you're doing is your current creators, you're already engaging with them, right? And so at the point that you get some past creators that you may want to ask to come back, you just don't stop engaging. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that is. So for example, there are people who, Shawana is a great example. When Shawana went through my beta program, I never stopped communicating with Shawana on social media. I never stopped cheerleading her. I never stopped interacting with her on social media, right? So when it came time for me to have an opportunity to bring her back into the fold, we never left connectedness. So that's a great example.
Ah, okay. Then yes, that.
Hilarious. So Dr. Tachi is picking social media engagement as a way to stay connected to bring past clients back. Love it. Glow, which strategy are you going to use? And let's give Glow time to.
Hey ladies, I was thinking of the community building.
Yes.
That's the one I was thinking about.
And you know what? You have a community already, Glow, and you do great community building activities in person. You do barbecues and parties and all kind of stuff for your people. So I love that. I would say see what you can also do virtually because everybody is not where you are, right?
Hmm.
So I would just
Hmm.
expand, how can we bring the party virtually? So, you know, I love a virtual happy hour. So maybe that's something that you can have, a virtual happy hour for conversations with Glow, and y'all may have a you know, a conversation going. You can record it. That could be a special episode, all kind of stuff. So
Oh
yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Okay.
get it
Like
going,
that.
Glow. Get it
Yes,
going.
ma'am.
Love it, love it. All right, Dewana, which one of these win back campaigns are you going to use for feedback and community building?
Good morning, ladies. Yeah, the community building is one that I need to actually get more into. I already do the reaching out and checking on them, and every week I check on them and see how they're doing. So the community building is going to be the one that I really think that will work best for me.
I think
But
so
all
too,
of them.
Dewana, because that's why I wanted to explain to y'all what community is, right? Because community is not just you checking on them and then them replying to you. Community is getting them together so that they can talk to
Right.
each other too, right? Because in a community, we feel not alone. We can still feel kind of alone talking to one person, right? But when we start to bring in everybody to talk together, that's when they start to feel a community around them. That's when they start to feel they're not the only one, right?
And they start feeling supported and start feeling like,
Yeah.
I can really, really do this thing that we're trying to do. That's what we have. That's what we have here. Everybody feels
Mhm.
empowered. Yeah.
Exactly. And it takes a lot of the pressure off of you because again, what do I tell y'all all the time? I'm not the only genius in the room, right? You guys are geniuses in your own right also. And so what happens is all the help doesn't come from me,
Right.
right? I know a lot of stuff, but y'all know a lot of stuff. And so we all help each other. And we all, try to help, the one person with the obstacle. It's not just me. So as the leader or facilitator, because I put myself out there as a facilitator of the community, right? Then what happens is you are empowering others to also step up and lead at different times. And so I love that. And so if you
And
can
not
do
only
that,
that, too, we realize what our own power is as we feed off of each other. We go, oh gosh, I really
yes,
did already. I know that, So it
yes.
really does. Yeah.
I love that you said that because when I was taking that global marketing class one Saturday, and I've talked to y'all about it before, right? So it was with Seth Godin, he was live, and then it was Martin Lindstrom, he was live. And so one of the things that I can't remember was it Seth or Martin, but one of the things that one of them talked about was emotional markers, right? What is the emotional bookmark that people remember about their connection to you? So I started thinking about like, what is my emotional connection to y'all? Because it's more than just getting a transformation. And then I realized it's because even though a lot of y'all see me as strong, even though a lot of y'all see me as having no fear, you see me as knowing a lot of stuff, right? What happens is I allow you to think that, right? Borrow what you feel like is my strength only to activate yours, because it's almost like the Wiz, right? You had the power all along, right? And so I recognize that is the emotional connectedness that we have. And so I need to start talking about that more, because there is nobody that has more power for you than you. Nobody.
Absolutely.
Right? And so that part of it, if you And I feel like, empowerment and empower has become a buzzword for motivational speakers and all of that. So I feel like the weight of it and the value of it has been watered down some. But at the end of the day, when you are part of something that empowers you, you go further faster, right? When you understand that you don't have to wait for somebody to help you, you don't have to wait for somebody to come along with you. You can do it on your own. Man, that is the quintessential empowerment, right? And so, yeah, we need to start talking about this stuff more. Good morning, Rita. Thank you for joining us. Over here on the Facebook side, Keith said, good morning. And then he said he's going to do the social media community building. Demetra said, good morning. Now is a great time for a recap. Okay. What we've been talking about all week is win back campaigns for small businesses to win back past clients, right? We had four categories, and today was the fourth and final category of feedback and community building. And the strategies were re-engagement surveys going to past clients, feedback loops that stay open for potential and current clients, community building activities. And again, community building is not just you talking to people and people talking back, but the people need to be able to talk to each other, right? Social media engagement. Just because people stop paying you don't mean you stop engaging with them. So social media is a great way to keep the relationship and the connection going. And so the question was, which one were you going to use? So we're going to go to Miss Rita. Welcome, Miss Rita. Tell everybody, I can read who you are, self-publishing book coach, but tell everybody who you are, and then tell us which one of these strategies you're going to start to implement. And Rita, you can let me know if you're like at a dream funder and can't talk, because you can put it in the comments in the studio if you want to. We'll give Rita time to put it in the comments and we'll come back to her. Shawana Kennedy, which one of these strategies are you going to implement?
There it go. Hello.
Oh, there go Rita. Come on.
Yeah,
Rita.
it's the tech. It's the tech that holds me up. I'm on the phone too. I saw you live. I'm new to the community. Hello, everybody. And so I'm still laying in the bed. It's late, but I'm still laying in the bed. And
Let me
so
tell you how most of us would be laying in
okay.
bed. If I wasn't on camera, I'd probably be in the bed. Just know that.
Amen. All right. Well, just really quickly to tell you guys who I am. I'm Reverend Rita Monique Henderson. I'm a speaker, self-publishing book coach. I'm the CEO of Fivefold Publishing LLC. And what I do outside of the titles and the accolades, I am a faith-filled woman on a divine assignment to provide Christian ministers and leaders with the self-publishing strategies, guidance, and resources that they need to turn their stories into influential income-producing books that impact the world. Because I believe that your story can and will change lives. That's what I do. Not sure how I got here. I think I saw you over in TSP. I'm not sure how I got here, but I'm glad to be here.
Look, I got a TSP shirt on now.
Hey, we are the
ones.
And so, amen. And I saw you and the award that you received. You know, I watched from afar, but I saw your 6-figure award and I just was drawn to your energy, right? I'm going to be, and what I've been doing is I have a community of almost 1,600 aspiring Christian authors. And so I've been re-engaging them.
Yes.
And so, yeah, coming up with ways. And what I stopped doing, I started re-engaging them more and how I was able to do that. Because I have all this energy, but I'm exhausted, is I had to come off my timeline and understand and not, because it's so much easier for me to be on the timeline because it seems like people show up, but those aren't my people. My people are inside my group, right? And so I stopped going on my timeline, stopped going live on my timeline altogether so that I can preserve that energy, you know what I mean? And focus more on what I call my VIP clients, my warm audience, let's say that. So
you are correct. But I'm going to tell you, Rita, you might still have to go live on that timeline every now and then. Because that's how you refresh getting new people into the group. If you only talk to the group, then how are we getting new people into the group? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I do my blog talk. And as you see, that blog talk can be less than 5 minutes some mornings. And then I come and I give them the quick tip and I tell them to come into this group and then I come in this group for 45 minutes. You see what I'm saying?
Ooh, okay, because what I have been doing, Shay, I if you go to my profile, you'll see my cover photo and my pin post leads them to the group. But I was thinking that today, like I do feel like I should come say something, and they were used to
Yeah.
me over there. But okay, that's a great strategy, and I will. Thank you.
Yeah, because think about it. Most people aren't going to your actual account and looking unless it's their first time encountering you, right?
Right.
So you have to all the time. What we know is telling people about our stuff we can't do it one time, right?
Right.
It's almost like teaching a kid something. You got to repeat it. You got to repeat it. You got to repeat it. All this week, I've been talking about my time management membership all this week.
Mhm.
You know, so we just got to keep doing stuff. So yeah, give them a little bit on the timeline, but save all of the bulk or the value for the actual community. But tell
Oh,
them what's going on in the community so they'll join the community, right? So
right.
like
Okay.
we're having our movie club tonight. But guess what? I talked about that on the blog talk. That blog talk goes to my timeline, my Facebook page. It goes to LinkedIn.
Oh,
It goes to YouTube. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm using
oh,
StreamYard.
yes,
So
yes.
all of those people now know if they think that quick tip was good, that there's going to be a 45-minute conversation
Oh,
exclusive to my community. They know that
oh,
we do communal things like this movie club night. You see what I'm saying? So I'm always telling them over there what they're missing and that they
okay.
should join.
Okay, that FOMO. Okay, build up that FOMO.
Yeah, yeah.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Thank you. Thank
You
you. And
are
I will.
so welcome. You are so welcome. Over here on the Facebook side, Demetra said good morning. And she said she's going to do the social media. And Rita, she said, yep, she in the bed. See, I told y'all. See, I'm the only one up on camera with a cute little background and some lighting because, you know, I'm facilitating. But y'all, that's why y'all are not required to be on camera. Hey, come on and stay in the bed and talk to us. You don't have to be out the bed at all. Shawana, are you available to tell us which of the strategies that you are going to implement?
Good morning. Good morning. You know me, I do it all. I do it all. I have to talk to everybody everywhere because I'm all about be seen, be heard, and create and increase that visibility. So yes, I know you can't give it all to one place, but they can still see you in some form or they can still hear you in another. So you already know I'm all about the social media. That's how they wouldn't know me if they don't know you. How about that, people? Let's say it. If they don't know you, they don't know you. And that's one way that I make sure. I've seen a couple of ladies, so thank you already for those who have hit the like button over in my group. As you were talking about the group, that community, it is shaking the communities up. And by, as what you were saying earlier, engaging the community. And I even stressed that it's not about me because it's about self. So that's an individual journey, but now highlighting them. So that is one of the things that I'm doing. So I'm excited that this is our second month that we are highlighting one of the community right inside of the community. And when I say community, I don't mean like my neighbor. I don't mean the people down the street or around the corner. I mean the folks that are right there that support, that do the like, the hearts, and sharing of the information, even if they've never purchased from me. And so this was an opportunity during this year for me to highlight some of those special people who really do. They share my stuff. They support me. They bought a book and they've been riding with me for a long time, no matter what it is that I'm doing. And so that's the community for me when we think about social media. And a lot of those people that support me in that light, they've not only seen me, they know, like you said, they know my family, they know my children, they know my history. And so that's part of what I'm doing. And so I was listening at you talking about time management, and even with what Rita was saying, that's why I chose to only right now, not to say I won't do it again, because I used to do it every Saturday, but that's why I do it every first Saturday, to do that so that I'm not spreading myself too thin. But yeah, you know I'm all about that engagement because yeah, they have to know that you're still there. And what you were saying too, and I said, Shay is so funny because on one instance, she will pull me to the front of the class and put me first. Then she'll make me be like, I'm just gonna make her wait. I know she's been sitting there. I'm gonna make her wait, y'all. So that's what she's doing. She made me wait. So this is why y'all getting what y'all getting. When you talked
I did
about
not make you wait. You was late. That
I was
rhymes with
not.
wait.
I heard all of the beauty. I heard Dr. Tachi. I heard Cheryl. I was in the class, y'all. I was in the class. I heard
Mhm.
everybody.
Lord help us.
But when you talked about lending that power, because sometimes it's electric, right? It's
Mhm.
contagious. And I know that that's what I get from other people, and other people actually need it from me. That's why we have to show up being ourselves no matter where we are, because who we are, what we bring, people need that. And they look for it, because it could be the boost that they need to show up in their fullness. And so just keep doing what you're doing in your communities, and because somebody is looking, and sometimes they date you before they ever step up to you to say hello. So they are watching, they are looking, they are listening, and the consistency. Y'all know it. We have got to continue to be consistent, because they need to know where, not only where everybody know your name, but they need to know how to find you. So I rest. Thank you.
Thank you, Shawana. So what I would like to invite everybody to do is go over and on the Facebook side on today's broadcast and put a link to your communities over there, so that if anybody in this community needs to be in your community too, they know where your community is. So everybody on the Facebook side, not here in the Zoom, but over on the Facebook side under this broadcast, put a link to your community. If you build community on your business page instead of having an actual group, then give them your business page. Wherever you commune and talk to your people and they can talk to each other, put the link. Okay? Cool beans. Thank you, Shawana. Dr. LaFera, how you feeling? Do you want to tell us which are you going to implement from the strategies we discussed today? And we're going to give you another minute to come off mute in case that's what you're doing. But I do have more information for y'all, because y'all know, y'all look, y'all been lacking with the conversation lately. So I already have Chatty, the chat meister queued up, right? So let's go into some fun and interesting ways to get feedback from your past clients, okay? You can gamify your surveys, okay? Transform your surveys into a game where respondents earn points, badges, or levels they complete different sections, okay? This could include quizzes with instant feedback, puzzles, or trivia, okay? Interactive polls on social media, feedback through augmented reality, that's AR, right? So create an AR experience where customers can leave feedback about your product or service. For example, a furniture store could use AR to let clients visualize how a piece of furniture will look in their home and then ask their opinion through the same interface. We're gonna come off this advanced stuff. Contests for the best suggestion, emoji feedback. I love emoji and meme feedback and gift feedback. You put up a post and you say, okay, do this emoji or this reaction for this answer, right? I love those. Or tell me how you feel about so-and-so. Use a meme or an emoji. I love those kind of surveys. Chat bots for interactive feedback via storytelling. That is encouraging customers to share their experience in a story about your product or service. Feedback scavenger hunts. Ooh, I like that. Organize a scavenger hunt where customers need to complete certain tasks related to your product or service and give feedback at each step. This can be a fun way to engage customers and gather feedback in various aspects of your offering. So, ooh, I like that. Swipe right feedback apps. So you know we, you know your girls stay on Tinder over here in Mexico. But yeah, we could do a swipe right. Do you like this or do you don't like this type of thing as a way to get feedback? I like that idea. Let's go into community building. We all know we need to have communities, right? But sometimes coming up with ideas to actually make it a community and make people commune, right, is a little hard. Because when you start a group, everybody looks to you to be a leader. It takes a while for you to create a culture that people start to come out of the woodworks and, you know, they also share. They also take some leadership roles and they are giving back or they are standing up and all of that kind of stuff, right? Everybody starting a community, most of them have the same problem. If they weren't already known before they started that community, it's hard to get other people to just talk. Right? It's hard to get them to interact. A lot of us have communities and don't nobody say nothing but us, right? And so here goes some suggestions for community building. Exclusive online forums or clubs. So you can have like some subsets within your community, right? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I would not create subsets based on hobbies and things like that that don't have anything to do with my service and stuff. I would only do things and bring it back to my service. Like I'm a movie buff, right? So what did I do? I created a movie night, but I brought it back to what I do by we're picking movies that have to do with business, and we're learning from those business lessons from the movie. I didn't just say, watch this movie and let's talk about it. Now I will tell you, Dr. Tachi, because she is in media, as in communication media, she does Media Scope, which does that very thing with pop culture and all that, but it has to do with what she does. Right? So when you're doing these fun activities and stuff like that, make sure it still is not a long shot from what you do. All right. But I love creating subsets within your group so that people who like that too can come together a little bit. That's a great idea. Client appreciation events within your community is great. Ambassador programs, right? Create a program that allows the people that are your super fans to go out and tell more people, right? I did one of those. It was called a recruitment contest. Teray won $100, right? All of y'all participated, whether you felt like you were going to win or not. What did you do? Invite your business besties, right? So community challenges, virtual workshops and classes. You know, we have free training in our group every month. This month's free training is already, the replays are already in there, right? Interactive webinars and live Q&A, client spotlight features, annual awards and recognition programs. Awesome idea, right? Feedback and co-creation sessions. You can have a live or a meeting or whatever just to get ideas from your community about what do they want to do together, right? Let them co-create with you. Again, ownership is key, okay? Social media engagement activities. We do that all the time too. Local meetup groups. Guess what? Teray headed a local meetup group in Atlanta from people from this community that were also in Atlanta. When I came into town, I hosted a brunch for people in the community to come, right? So you can definitely do local meetups. Skill swap sessions. Now we've talked about that before. We had a post up. Y'all didn't really do well with that, but just know that as you're listening to what other people say they do, right? And you're telling people what you do, see if there is some collaboration opportunities for you to help each other and barter your skill sets. Okay. That's why it's important to come off the mic. You don't have to necessarily come off the camera. Although if you don't come off the camera, you won't be seen in the group. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna only be, y'all see each other in the Zoom. But if you notice, anybody that don't come off the camera, you're not seen on the Facebook side, right? But at least you're coming off the mic. You're telling people who you are. You're telling them about your business. You're telling them what you're good at. So when other people know they need you, they know who you are. But when you hear somebody that has a skill set that you need, hey, jump in that inbox and say, hey, I need that skill set. Is there a way we can barter? We had a whole week on that. Remember? It was called non-monetary currency. That was the week. Let's see what else we got up here. Podcast featuring client stories. I love that. I got one coming up for that. Client-led webinar series. I like that because guess what? Again, you're not the only genius in the room, right? You're not the only genius in the room. Allow your people to come on and flex their skill sets. I do it all the time for y'all, right? Interactive content creation contests. I like that. That's also how you can get that user-generated content. But basically what you do is you can host contests that invite past clients to create content related to your brand, right? Like videos or guest blogging or some kind of visual based on your brand. But then you incorporate that into the community so that everybody can see it, right? If it's a contest, then of course the community gets to vote. It's not just you picking the winner, the community gets to vote. So I like ideas like that. Book or article club. Well, y'all know we have a movie club. Mentorship programs. I like mentorship programs, but I feel like I like accountability better. So I feel like finding an accountability partner fares better than necessarily finding a mentor in this type of group. Crowdsource project initiatives. Let's see, launch a program where the community members can contribute ideas, feedback, or even volunteer work towards that common goal, such as a charitable cause or a community resource. Okay, I like that. Let me tell you, here in Playa del Carmen, Mexico, we have co-working spaces. One of those co-working spaces every year does what they call a hackathon, okay? And all a hackathon is everybody comes together for an agreed upon goal. And what they do is they start that goal and they finish it all within a 24-hour period. So if it's, we want to like at one point there were a lot of stray dogs here in Playa del Carmen. So what they knew was they wanted to do something for the local animal shelter. So what we did was we came all together in the hackathon. We updated their website. We put some initiatives out there. We put some dates on the calendar to get some people to volunteer. We started, campaigns where people could come into the shelter and, pet the dogs or do kind of that animal therapy type stuff or whatever. But we did everything that we did. We got it started and finished within a day. Right? So that's a hackathon. Then they have a day in the life video series. I love those. So you can feature some of your clients in a day in a life. You don't have to just do you. You can start with you and then start picking your past clients to do a day in a life as related to the product or service that you give. Okay. Shawana, did that spark something for you? Because I saw your hand go up. I don't know if that was
Yes, yeah. You know
go
what?
ahead.
I'll have to ask because you was on the roll.
I
If
was.
you don't mind, I would actually, if you don't mind putting it back here, that prompt, the prompt that you used that gave you that's number one. Number two, one of the things that I did for my Self First group was to reach out to individuals and do a personal invite for them to be more engaging with it could be a meme, it could be a post, something positive, like you said, that is related to the group, to invite them to share more, because sometimes that personal touch is that personal touch. And it's not that they not feeling you, but sometimes you just tapping them and saying, hey, I love what I know that I see you do. Because some people, if you're liking their things on their thread, and you're like, hey, you know what, some of that love, can you share some of that love over here? And so that's what I begin to do, is to tap a few of them, and be like, hey, I love that, it definitely fit what we're doing over here. Do you mind, extending some of that love over in the community? So sometimes just tapping people, asking them, do you mind? And that's another way to get more people who are a little bit, quiet maybe, to say, oh, wow, okay, she like what I'm doing. They see what I'm doing and they want me to share in their group. Because some people don't know. And yeah. So that was just a thought. Don't forget to just talk to your community directly, especially if you see people who have that ambassador potential or someone. I mean, you may not want to, of course, make them an admin right away, but I'm saying just let them know that they have that. You welcome their input in the community. That was
Love it. And that's actually a must as your community grows, right? As your community grows, you need volunteers to help you to moderate your community to keep the culture, right? This community has a culture. It's even in the description of the group. It says the culture. We value community, conversations, connectedness, and collaboration. The goal is to be a true community of members that care, help, and support each other like neighbors. As we are all experts, diverse answers to questions and sharing of information is encouraged. We are all different, and different information will resonate with some members. So I created this community with intention, right? I don't come in here, I know a lot, and y'all know I'm not modest at all. I am a damn genius, but I don't come in here like I'm the only genius, right? I don't come in here like my information is the only information. And so you have to foster the type of community that you want. And guess what? You have to be the first to lead. Being a leader means you go first. So you have to show by example what you want, right? So some people, and when you get into other communities, you do have to go in there and kind of read the room, because you might be in a community that you thought the topic was great, but maybe the culture is not, right? Because as y'all know, I don't allow people to really write on the walls of our community. That's how you immediately start to get these promotional ass communities. I don't want that. Right? So that's why I always say, hey, when we're talking and you want to drop links and you want to do stuff, you know what I'm saying? Drop it on the broadcast that is relevant to the conversation when we talked about that link, right? So again, you have to create the culture that you want, and then you have to police that culture and enforce that culture and encourage that culture. All right. Well, does anybody have any questions? Shawana, that prompt is in the studio comments. I also put it on the Facebook side because the studio comments disappear. So all right, Zandra is over there. She said this is good on the Facebook side. Keith Munn said he likes the day in the life. It sounds awesome. All right. And Rita has already put her community link over there, so that y'all don't forget to put your community link under the comments of today's broadcast. All right. All right, guys. Anybody have any questions before we get out of here and in this amazing week? I'm telling y'all, I'm a vessel. I don't know how we have week after week of great value. Like we haven't had a loser week yet. Do you hear me? We are on a roll. That's how I know it's not just me. Okay, I got to be a vessel because ain't no way I can think of this stuff like this every time. It's not just me. And I would like to take the time, right, to thank the community because y'all help it to be even more valuable with your value add. So thank you for also being a genius because again, there's no doubt that I'm one. I'm thanking you for being one too. So anybody have anything?
I do have to
ahead,
say that
Shawana.
yesterday, I got pulled away before I could say something.
Okay.
What I want to know, and then because as we're getting ready to go into the third month, once again, because of my trip to Mexico and just different things that we shared while we were there, because I know that that is still happening and still going on, and you're getting other people to make their trip. So if you have not made your deposit, ma'am, sir, you may want to do that because of the extensive conversation that I had with Shay and her nudging me. The pricing, some of my pricing changed significantly, and for 2024, I am well on my way. And I just wanted you to know that because yeah, the price is the price. And we have to be okay with that. And I just did, I wanted you to know that it was something you was doing, but then of course, I think I had got a call. But I want you to know that it is working, and you have to be okay to say your number and not say anything behind once you say that number.
Yes, you do.
And I want you to know that. So I did want to say that publicly. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Shawana. So what Shawana is talking about is when she came to the retreat last year, and we are having the retreat this year. And look, Rita got off too early. She over here on the Facebook side comes some trip to Mexico. Yes, Rita. So I have a retreat. It happens in September. So you can go to shaycannon.com/retreat to get more information. But a part of that retreat is it's called the Rest and Revenue Retreat. You're going to get plenty of rest. It's not that type of retreat where they tell you it's a retreat and then they work you to death. No, you're going to get your rest in, but then we're going to have a 6-figure day where you get a plan for your business for the road to 6 figures. And so everybody that has a plan from me in different ways have benefited from that plan. They don't have the confusion that people without that plan have. They have a lot of clarity. They got a lot of structure, and they knew the first strategies to work based on that plan. There are different ways to get that plan. You don't have to necessarily come to the retreat. There are different ways. So you can go to shaycannon.com/offers to see the different ways that you can work with me, I'm sorry. And there is pricing transparency on all of it. So you don't have to, well, I got to book a call to see how much it costs. No, all the pricing is at the very bottom of every page. Okay. Also, there are special opportunities if you've been in my community for a while that instead of doing a strategy session on Zoom, you may have an opportunity to come here in Mexico and do your strategy session, staying with me and tasting this expat life that I have going on. In fact, shout out and safe travels to Heather. Heather is on a plane right now on the way here. She'll be here by lunchtime. And so, yeah, let's talk about it. But I'll put all of those links in the group. But thank you for that, Shawana. Love it, love it, love it. All right, guys, it's been another great week. I want y'all to have a great day and have a great weekend. We're going to do it all again next week.